What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do
Of
well.
course you did. What you say?
I said, let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best
Of course it
podcast.
is. What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating
That is
myself?
just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said, let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Elyse Daly.
And I am Scott Daly.
And together,
We're
the Dailies.
but not equal, because I was told immediately before we started recording that I have to carry the show today. That's what I was told.
I said he has
I was
to.
told that I have to put the show on the back and carry it through the goal line.
How heavy is the show, Scott?
It's so heavy. It's like
why is it so heavy?
heavy as the crown of the the
Why
best
have you never
show
made
on the
me
network.
a crown to wear while I record?
Why have I never made you a crown to wear while we
I
record?
would like a recording crown, please.
A crown?
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that, I guess. What would you like your crown made out of? Papier mâché?
No, I want like a legitimate crown.
Oh, so like you want
Like a tiara.
like
I
metal.
I
with,
want like a
gems
real
in it.
tiara. Yeah.
Okay.
I had one once.
This is the
I
podcast
was a
where
child.
each and every week my wife Elyse and I go through the hit 2000s teen drama The OC episode by episode. This week on the show we are covering season 2 episode 17, The Brothers Grimm, which is a pretty fun. It's fun. It's a pretty fun
Before
name.
we do that, Scott, can you believe that I had a crown as a child?
Can I
Like
believe
a
that you had
tiara? It was for dress up.
Can I believe that your parents, probably your father,
No, I think it was my mom.
bought you a crown?
We had lots of dress up clothes. Did you guys not have dress up clothes to
Well-
like play with?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I mean, my older sister would like dress me up when I was like 2. She put me in a Minnie Mouse costume because she thought it was funny, and she put makeup on my cheeks because she thought it was funny. But no, I didn't really
Not, like,
play dress up.
Costumes
No,
or anything?
I mean, I like at Halloween I wore costumes, and I had like my Ghostbuster. I mean, I had like my Ghostbusters costume that I wore all the time because I ain't afraid of no ghosts. None of them.
Oh, no. Ghosts are real, right?
No,
No?
they're not.
There's only one that's real.
What?
There's only one ghost that's real.
What?
It lives in our house.
Oh, the dog. I was like, where the fuck is she going with this? I was like, is she about to say the Holy Ghost?
I mean, that too. But when I think ghost, I think like eerie.
You just meant the dog.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was scared for a
Scott,
minute
where was your brain going?
I don't know. Hey, Elise, where my brain wants to go right now is
Yeah.
over to the Rosies and Thornies section.
Yeah, I was going to do that transition, but you beat me to it. So
I told you, I'm carrying the show.
thank you.
Put the show on the back,
Carry
though.
the load. Isn't that carry the... What's that Beatles song? Oh, we're gonna carry the... Is it carry the weight or carry the load?
I would help, but this is too fun.
I
Please
don't
continue.
remember. Anyway, we're going to go to the Rosies and Thornies, the part of the podcast where Scott and I look back on the week and we just talk about what was good, what was bad,
Ooh, that
what we
was
call our Rosies and Thornies.
You are speaking in size right now. Like, and we just look back on the week and,
Well, I needed to yawn.
Oh, there's the yawn. Hey, Lisa,
So now I got it out.
are you going first on the Thornies this week?
Yes, I'm going to go first on
Okay.
the Thornies this week because on Friday we got some really shocking, sad news. And I feel like Scott is the one that always talks about sad things that happen in
The world?
the world and like media and stuff. And it was just like the whole thing that Chadwick Boseman died. It has just really made me very sad lately because there are certain people that are actors and actresses and people that are famous that it was like, oh yeah, no, they were good, but I'm not going to miss them too much. But I just feel like he's someone that has done a lot contributing not just to, like the movies that he's made, but just with the roles that he's done and the platform that he's used in order to spread what he felt was important about like purpose and kindness and just like honesty. And it's just, it was a sad thing for the world to lose someone who was so kind and intentional with people. And like the more that you read about it, and it was just, it's one of those things too, where when you know that people are sick and you have the ability to kind of like slowly mourn what's going to happen. And so even though they're a good person, it's like you can see what they're doing with their life. And so you understand those choices that they're making. And so you have the ability to like find closure as the years go by.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find out that it was to us sudden, but not really sudden, and then you look back and you see all the things that he did, and probably even more why he did it, because he was sick and he knew that if he didn't use his time wisely, then what he was standing for and what he was trying to create wasn't going to leave the legacy that he wanted to. And it's just like, you just think back on it and you just keep looking and reading, and it's just sad.
It's very sad. Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yeah, I mean, he was a phenomenal actor who had just so much energy. Like just the energy and the dignity and the power he brought to every performance he had was incredible. And like, I don't know, he was my sister's age when he was diagnosed, which is just scary for me because like 43 is like so young. So young. I'll be 43 before I know it.
Yeah. You're just those digits switched right now.
Yeah, it's just it was shocking. And like, you have push notifications from the Associated Press.
Yeah.
And the AP is the ones who ran the story first.
Mm-hmm.
I have push notifications from the Hollywood Trades, but not the AP. So you got it before me. And I remember I was in the kitchen doing the dishes or something, and you're like, Chadwick Boseman died? And I just didn't believe you at first.
I know. I
like,
started looking and thinking that it was like a
mistake.
false report.
Yeah, that's got to be a mistake. That can't be true. And then, of course, it was. It sucks. It really sucks. Like I think you have those celebrity deaths that you know are going to hit you hard. Usually, it's older people that like this is coming. Like I know Stephen King is in his 70s now. I know it's going to be hopefully 15 or more years before I have to read that news, but you never know. And so you're kind of mentally preparing yourself for it. And then you have stuff like this where, just you had no idea it was going to affect you this much. And Chadwick was definitely one of those for me.
Yeah.
Man, we watched Black Panther again over the weekend. There's plenty of other of his movies I want to watch. I mean,
I've never seen Marshall, and I've wanted to.
Da 5 Bloods just came out, and he's not a huge role in that movie, but it's a great performance. It's powerful. I loved it.
Watch back through these movies that have come out recently, like watching back through Black Panther, knowing that entire time he was sick.
Yeah.
And what he required of his body to do for that. I mean, like that in and of itself just makes you want to cry.
Yeah. I mean, like I think we read Ryan Coogler's thing over the weekend. Ryan Coogler wrote a beautiful tribute to him, and we learned that he didn't even know.
Yeah.
That Ryan Coogler didn't even know that he found out he was sick the same time we all found out he was sick.
And I mean, like, I think that it's probably, I don't know why he decided not to tell people, but I mean, two reasons I could, one, you don't want it to sway people's opinion, but at the same time, it's like he didn't want people to think any less of him and wanted to continue doing and showing people what you're capable of. And
I think if you're in this industry and you tell people you're sick, then every interview you do from then on, at least one person is going to ask you, how you doing?
Well, and then with like an illness where you have chemo and surgeries, they are probably not going to let you do these big things. Like, he might not have gotten Black Panther if they knew that he had this. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that wouldn't be true, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I would hope so too, but I don't know. Anyways, it's put me in a mood. It's put me in one of those like somber moods every time I read and see something, and
I get it. I mean, I'm trying to focus on the positive. I'm trying to focus on like the fact that so many people have written like beautiful tributes to this man. I think shows exactly the kind of person he was.
which is why it's even sadder that like
Sure.
it's fine.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, Scott, what's your thorn? I want
Well-
to stop talking about mine because I don't want to cry.
Well, mine is equally as important, and it's I didn't get to play video games last week. No,
oh, Scott.
I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I sat here in front of a blank piece of paper for a while trying to come up with what was my thorn for the week.
He wanted to steal mine, and I just told him it was fine. He can just talk about it when I talk about it.
It was an okay up until Friday evening. It was an okay week for me, and so I didn't have a lot to complain about. I did take the entire weekend off of streaming, as some of you folks know. I've been playing through the Final Fantasy games. Hey, babe, 3 games to go. Only 3
Thankfully,
more.
Yes.
But I just took last week off. I was just like, you know what? I just need a break. But I missed it. I ended up playing on Saturday for a while and beat Final Fantasy 12 because I just didn't get to play it all the rest of the week. But
Okay.
you know, I'm listed as my thorn, but I'm doing it like in an interview, and it's like, what's your greatest weakness? And I'm turning it into my strength. I rejuvenated myself.
Okay. Good for you.
Rejuvenated myself by taking a week off of streaming.
Way to go. I'm proud.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Elyse, what's your rose?
You
What's
know
going
what
on?
else has rejuvenated after taking some time off?
What's that?
Love Island. Love Island USA is back. I'm so excited. I was really actually worried that I wasn't going to get my reality TV love shows.
That would be terrible.
And when I found out Love Island was coming back, I was just stoked. And, you know, the way that they're doing it is they turned the top of a hotel in Vegas into what they had look like the Love Island set when they were in Fiji. So really, they're just on a rooftop in Vegas, which is so not
Insane.
as cool as Fiji. I understand that.
It's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like those people are. I have not watched this because I hate it, but I've seen you watch it,
Yeah.
and every time they cut to these people on this in the day in Las Vegas on a roof.
Oh, yeah,
in
they're so hot.
August.
They're
it's
so
got to
hot.
be 110 degrees up there.
Yeah. They've added some extra shade. that
Good.
I've noticed in the past couple
Good.
weeks or days. Yeah. But anyways, so I'm excited that's back. And October 13th, Scott, you know what comes out on October 13th?
What comes out on October 13th?
The Bachelorette.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so.
You know the way that these reality shows have been working their way around COVID?
Yeah.
They stay in these bubbles. Nobody
that's
in
what
the
the-
production.
That's what the NBA did.
Yeah, the NBA figured out it worked.
Yeah, it does work. Baseball is a freaking mess, but basketball is going great.
Yeah, it's the bubble. Anyways, so my reality shows are back. Thanks, Bubble. Bubble Boy had it right, guys.
Fucking Bubble Boy. The Revenge of Bubble Boy means I have to spend my evenings watching reality TV. Fuck.
Oh my gosh. How many people are going to walk around in Bubble Boy suits nowadays?
Nobody.
I mean, that would be so funny.
Just Jake Gyllenhaal.
I hope he does. I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm aware.
He's one of my cheats.
You would leave me for Jake Gyllenhaal.
I would.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
would.
I'd leave you for Maggie. It's fine.
Okay.
No, not really. But I do like Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, she's not as cool as Jake.
Well, who is as cool as Jake Gyllenhaal?
I don't know. Not you.
Screw you. I'm changing my thorn. It's you again.
I know. That's what you had at first. Tell me about your rose, Scott.
My rose, the best thing that happened to me all week, was actually our book club, and I'm not doing this just to shill. This is just my honest answer that the Doof Media Book Club is one of my favorite things that we do every month. I love it so much. Our community picks out a book for us to read. We all spend the month reading it. We get together on the last Friday over on our YouTube page, and Matt and I just lead a discussion with a bunch of our listeners for an hour, 2 hours to talk about the book. And here's what happens every time. I read the book and I'm like, that was fine. It was a good book. It was a solid 3 or 4 star book.
Yeah.
And then I spend 2 hours talking with people about it, talking with Matt, which I love to discuss stories with Matt. It's one of my favorite things in the world. But I also love to just reach out to other people and discuss stories with other people. And I always leave those book clubs, always, loving the book way more. I literally finished this book that we did for this month, which was a book called A Memory Called Empire by Arcadia Martine. And I went into Goodreads and I upgraded my review on it because I was so much more enamored with the book after I got to talk about it. And that feeling is why I started this whole thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started recording podcasts in the first place, because that feeling when you finish a conversation about a movie or a TV show or a book or whatever, and you've realized how much more you love it, you've seen how much more complex and intricate and brilliant it is. There's nothing quite like that, and I got to experience that this Friday. And
what's this new book that you
happy.
have that's super long?
It's a book called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and yeah, it's,
why did you get that book?
Well, it won the vote. It won the patrons voted for it.
Why?
Because it's apparently really good.
It just looks like it needs an editor.
I knew it was big. I did not know how big. We're both looking at the book right now, and it's
a solid 2.5 inches thick.
Yeah, it is. It's a big book. I'm gonna have to start reading it like tomorrow.
Like, why would you release a book that big? Why not break it into 2 or get an editor to actually like pare it down?
Sometimes I can't tell whether you're being serious or not. Like half the books I read are books that size.
I know a lot of them are big, but I mean, Stephen King, just nobody edits his stuff anyways anymore. They just let him do whatever he wants, even if it's crap.
Okay. Back up.
What?
Back up.
What?
You take that back.
No, I'm not.
You take it back. You
No.
have not read a word of Stephen King. You
But
don't
I've
even know
heard
what
it
you're
all
talking
through
about.
you.
I would never say the word crap.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Well, I did say it was crap, but I didn't say it like that was something that he said.
We're in a fight, and the only way to get out of this fight is to talk about the OC. So
Okay.
let's do that. We're in a fight.
Is that how most of our fights are resolved? Let's just talk about the OC.
Yes.
Okay.
Elyse, tell me about this episode.
So we're going to talk about season 2, episode 17. It's called The Brothers Grimm. It was written by J.J. Philbin and directed by Michael Lang, both seasoned OC writers and directors.
Oh, I recognize both those names.
Yeah. It aired on March the 24th, 2005.
JJ!
That's the year my sister graduated high school.
That's great little factoid there.
Yep.
At least I forgot to write the episode overview, but let me just do it on the fly.
Go for it.
In this episode,
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Ryan's brother gets out of prison.
Yeah, he does.
And joins
What's
the
his
cast. His name is Trey.
That's right.
Trey Atwood.
Atwood. That's their last name. Both are the same.
He comes to live in the pool house and gets into some trouble.
Where's Ryan go when he's in the pool house?
He goes into the guest house, which
Why is he not in the guest house or the guest room anyway?
I'm tired of the show pretending like their mansion is a 3-bedroom house. Like, I'm really getting tired of it. Like, stop it, show. There's
Okay.
more than 3 bedrooms.
Keep
in there.
going, Scott.
Also,
Yeah.
Zach returns from...
Zach
I almost
attack.
said Hawaii, but I meant Italy. Zach returns from Italy with a new girlfriend.
Who's that?
Ooh, Francesca.
You got all those names. Good job, Scotty. What else?
And also, Julie's porn saga continues as Caleb unsuccessfully pays off the man that was going to release the film, and so he releases it at
What's that
a
guy's
party.
name?
I don't know. What is his name? What's Julie's ex's name?
I want to say Vance, but or Vince or something, but I don't.
It's probably
remember.
Vince Vance. Vince Vance from Vance Refrigerators and
Probably.
Sons. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely it.
Duh.
Also, Kirsten is in love with her coworker, and that's weird.
What's his name?
Carter.
Good job.
John Carter of Mars. Hey, Elyse, what did you think of this episode?
I like this episode.
What was that? You smacked your lips in the mic very loud.
I like this episode. You know why I like this episode?
Why do
Scott?
you like this episode, Elyse?
I like the dynamic that Trey brings into the series.
Oh, do you?
I do. You know, if you don't have trouble, add another Atwood. Shake and let sit. I don't know.
Shake and let sit. I want to hear.
I wanted to say shake and then stir, but that doesn't make sense.
I want to see the recipe.
I meant like,
And then you put the ingredients together. Pour a little vermouth, a little vodka, and shake and let sit. Don't touch it. Don't you touch it. You have to let it sit. Don't do it.
I meant like a soda. Like you shake it.
And then you gotta
and
let
you
it
need to
sit.
let it sit.
Oh my god, Elyse, you have to stop laughing because we have to do the show now.
I can't. And when I laugh, it doesn't make noise.
Yeah, you laugh silently, so everyone just thinks I'm going crazy. There's nothing happening over there. Elyse is having...
I can't talk.
She's having an attack. It wasn't even that funny. Our listeners are probably like, what is wrong with them?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I like Trey.
You like Trey?
I like what he brings to the show. He gets some good stuff.
You're crying.
I am, aren't I? It's just Chadwick and this shaken letting sit. I've been shaken enough. I just need to be able to sit.
Okay. Enough.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So you like the episode?
I do.
You like Trey?
I do.
How do you feel about Zack Attack is back?
I've always loved Zach as the character. And so, you miss him. He comes back. It's really kind of sad because we learned that Francesca's not real.
Whoa, you're stealing my thunder here, babe.
I'm sorry, but we learn that it's not real and that he made it up because he was trying to help Summer feel like he'd already moved over her, but gotten over her. Anyways, I like that Zach's back.
Would you like me to talk about why I like the episode now?
Yeah, you just take it away.
Maybe you just you're a little shaken. Just let it sit for a while, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna let it sit.
I loved this episode.
Good.
I thought this was a great episode of TV, and I actually had a very hard time picking a thorn. And my thorn is really just me cheating and picking something because I knew I had to, and then I picked 2 roses because I make up the rules. You can't stop me. I thought this episode was fantastic. Every one of these storylines is just working. The drama is working. The comedy is working. Everything's working. I think all the characters that have kind of been lame and stilted and not too interesting got supercharged this week, and it's all working on me. Loved it. What a great episode. What a great episode.
I enjoyed it.
Loved it. Come on.
You told me to sit, so I'm gonna sit.
Right into the microphone.
Yeah. Okay,
Hey,
are you
Elyse,
ready for my thorn of the episode?
I am. The question is, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I've gotten my composure back. So my thorn Scott for this episode kind of has a little bit to do with last week's episode too, but this week Marissa is laying it on thick to get Ryan's attention, and Ryan is letting it happen. And Ryan and Marissa are not supposed to work in my book. I don't like them together. Ryan is much better on his own without her. He seemed happier. He was in no drama and no trouble. And now she's back. He asked her to go shopping with him and his brother.
Uh-huh.
And she came, and then they had that whole little flirty exchange about the hats.
Oh, wow, look at this. Yeah, it says you written all over it. Oh, yeah, that looks really adorable on you. Yeah, that's just so cute.
Really? I thought ugly hats were your thing. It looks really good on you. Honestly, you should look at you. Oh, really? Yes.
God agrees.
True.
Because she does wear a lot of really ugly hats.
Yep.
So I'm glad that they acknowledged that, even if it was a joke to the costume department. But what a joke the costume department was this entire week. And I know you'll get into that later.
Oh, will I?
But anyways, I'm over Marissa and Ryan. It's not a Ross and Rachel love story. And I think that they wanted it to be, and it's just not.
She's just trying to be his friend, babe. She's just trying to be his friend.
No.
Yeah, they're really flirty. And I mean, the part of the episode, so the very end of the episode is Ryan and Marissa are searching for Trey because Trey, they got in a fight, and we'll get into that in a bit, but they're at a seedy bar, and the boys get in a fight with some dude that's being creepy to Marissa because that's what always happens in seedy bars, and they end up having to flee the scene. And you know what Marissa's doing the entire time?
Smiling.
She's got the biggest smile on that little face of hers. She's loving it. She loves the danger, and it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble, babe. It's gonna be trouble.
Hey, babe.
What's up?
Do you know how to spell Francesca?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You know, it's not a CH.
What are you talking about?
Next to what you already typed in there.
I mean, perhaps I was just typing really fast and taking notes while I was watching.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your thorn?
You. Spelling correction
No,
mid-podcast.
Scott, we're talking about the OC. We're not talking about real life.
As I said at the beginning, I don't have a lot of complaints about this episode, but the one thing that I do have a complaint about, not so much from a meta perspective, but just from I continue to not want to see it, is Kirsten's ongoing thing for her magazine partner Carter. This is like the first time the show has textually referenced what's going on here, and there's several awkward scenes. I mean, there's the first scene when Julie realizes that Kirsten likes Carter, and
Oh, I love that.
that's Julie Cooper being the amazing character she is on the show, and the life and energy she brings to the show. It's so great. I love it.
You like Carter. Excuse me? You have a thing for Carter. Kirsten Cohen crushes Carter.
That's ridiculous.
Here I've been so preoccupied with my own sex scandal, I hadn't noticed yours.
That's enough.
Sandy's off in strange motels with that fugitive ex-girlfriend of his, so you decide to turn up the heat at the office?
I just don't like it. I don't like what they're doing here, and they're doing the on again, off again, and then Kirsten tries to be super professional later in this episode, where she's just like, "No, we will not be having wine. That is unprofessional." And Carter's freaked out because he doesn't understand why it's happening, and then he realizes that Julie's got a thing for him, and you know
Kirsten?
Yes, Kirsten. You know what he does?
What?
He digs it. He digs it, and there's
He's divorced.
a part at the very end of the episode where Sandy and Carter meet each other, and Kirsten's stuck there in the middle. And the way that who's our director's name again? The way that
Michael Lang.
Michael Lange shot this scene, he sticks Kirsten
Lange.
He sticks Kirsten right in the middle of the two of them, and she's right between them, and it's he literally creates a triangle with their space in the scene. It's very well done, but it annoys me, and I don't like it. I don't want this to happen.
I know.
You can't do this to my boy
the
Sandy.
Ross and Rachel of the show are Kirsten and Sandy.
No, but they've
or
never
Summer
been
and
off
Seth.
again. It's definitely Summer and Seth.
Both of those relationships.
Yeah,
Monica and Chandler are
What
the
if-
Kirsten and Sandy.
Yeah, well, I guess Monica and Chandler don't get together until way later in the show, though.
Well,
Kirsten and Sandy started the show married.
did they?
Yes.
Are you sure?
You can't just say, "Did they?" to a thing that's true, and then it doesn't work that way.
Well, when you find out next season that they've never actually been married, you're going to come back to this.
Am I?
I don't know. Are you?
We can't keep doing it. Stop. At least talk to me about what you loved about this episode.
Okay.
What's your rose?
Guys, it's been a long time since we've had Caleb and Julie in a scene together.
Yeah, they're
And,
in they're in multiple
They're married.
scenes.
If you didn't know, they're married, and they've been married for a while. And I love both of these characters together and separately because they're both just awful human beings, but they tolerate each other and they accept each other for how awful they are.
Yes.
And it's just wonderful.
Well, I think we ought to replace the shower head in the one guest bathroom upstairs. Oh, and you really have to fire that new gardener. Those are some sorry-looking hydrangea bushes out front.
Fine. Was there anything else?
Well, I made an adult film in the 80s with an ex-boyfriend who's now threatening to release it on the internet unless I pay him $500,000. Oh, and I really would like to redo the kitchen.
And Caleb decides to agree to pay the guy $500,000 for Julie's sex tape.
Yeah.
But then he actually doesn't do it. And this is what I actually like. I like that he agrees to do it for Julie. So Julie thinks that he's a stand-up guy. And then he goes and he gives the money. But then his two like brutes come in and he takes the money back away. Because
he-
I just love that Caleb does that and he just tries to play everybody off. And
Yeah.
it's just wonderful.
But it doesn't work. Because, of
I
course,
mean-
the guy has another copy of the tape.
Yeah.
And he shows it at the big magazine launch
Yeah.
party.
But I'm okay with that because I like how Caleb did it.
But it was bad.
But I mean, now they're just going to get into legal issues because the guy signed the contract.
Yo, but they didn't sell the tape.
They did. He just lost the money, Scott. It's not his fault.
Sure. Okay. The only thing I didn't like about it was how the guy, Vance, whatever his name is, we see him at the very end of the episode.
Vinny, I think.
We see him at the very end of the episode. He's got this big smile on his face as he realizes he's like, I got the last laugh on you, Julie Cooper. He looks fine. Like the implication as we leave the scene is Caleb takes the money back, leaves the shady hotel room, and the two big beefy boys are just going to beat the shit out of Vince, Vinny, whatever his name is, right? And then the next time we see him, he looks fine. He doesn't look like he's been roughed up at all. I mean, maybe
he roughed up the
maybe
other
they
two.
just avoided the face.
Yeah, maybe they just
You gotta
punched
avoid
him
the
where it
face
hurts.
sometimes.
Where I accidentally kicked you today.
Elyse kicked me in the balls today. We weren't going to talk about this on the podcast, but
It was an oopsie.
Elyse kicked me in the balls.
It was an oopsie.
It was a ouchie. It really hurt.
It was an oopsie ouchie.
Well, Elyse has this thing. I don't know if we've ever talked about this in the show. Elyse cannot do horseplay. She gets really she plays too hard and she hurts people.
Oh, yeah.
This
That's
is what you
true.
do.
That's true.
You were giving me this look, and I'm like, no. Anytime you are messing, you're just with when you were
I go
younger,
0 to 60.
when you were younger
in
with your sisters,
a second.
when you and I are just fooling around and just being silly, you just you can't, you do not
Oh, yeah.
control, you do not moderate yourself at all.
There's no middle ground for me. It's
hurt
just
people.
nothing or everything.
You hurt people.
Yeah, hurt people.
Control
hurt people.
yourself. Oh, are you a hurt people? Is that what you're saying?
I am.
Who hurt you, Elyse?
Oh, we won't talk about it here.
You can't do that. It's terrible.
Anyways,
yeah, you. Do
I'm
not-
sorry. I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't on
It's fine.
purpose.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't need them anyway.
No, we don't.
You want to hear my rose? Are we done? Are we
guess.
done with yours?
Yeah, we're done with mine. What's yours?
Oh, my rose, Elyse. My rose is one person, 3 names: Logan Marshall Green, aka a poor man's Tom Hardy. But Logan Marshall Green is playing Trey, a new actor. This is a different actor that played Ryan's brother from the last time we saw him, and he is the perfect person for this role. He is perfect. He plays every bit of Trey perfectly. He plays the charming side that gets people to like him. He plays the appreciative side. I love the scene where they walk into the house and he sees the mansion for the first time and he's like, holy shit. And it's kind of funny because we and Ryan have gotten so used to this house, have gotten so used to this 3-bedroom mansion that it's not a big deal anymore. But to Trey, it is. And he captures that part of it. But he also captures the sinister part of it. The scene when they're in the clothing store and the guy accuses him of stealing that watch, he goes to darkly
He's like me.
angry.
He goes
Yeah.
0 to 60.
Yeah,
just
there's
like
no-
this.
Excuse me.
It's funny.
Can I check your bag?
Why? I didn't do anything wrong.
Look, I saw you handling that watch before.
I didn't take your damn watch.
We have the right to look through your bag. Just hand it over.
I see other people with bags here. I don't see you giving them a hard time.
Look, he didn't take anything.
I just let him check through your bag. Hey, man, I'll handle this. Why'd you get out of my face?
Send someone to the front entrance.
Yeah? You know what? Don't bother. Hey, roll it.
He goes darkly angry very, very, very quickly. And this episode ends on a happy note with him because he didn't steal the watch. He bought the watch. He's got a receipt to prove it.
Don't roll your eyes.
And well, here's my problem with the watch. So what happens is he's looking at a watch in the store. We see very early on that this man is following him around because he suspects him of something. They buy a bunch of clothes. They're walking out. He accuses him of stealing the watch. Logan Marshall Green, as Trey, flips the fuck out, knocks over clothing racks, kicks stuff over, destroying the store, and then he walks out. Then, later on in the episode, Ryan finds the watch that he was looking at and accused of stealing hidden under a pile of clothes in the pool house. Trey's story is he went back to that store the next day, bought the watch that is a $200 watch, and he was going to give it to Ryan as a gift as a thank you. There's a couple problems with this. We know he spent all the money Sandy gave him on the clothes he bought.
Do we?
I don't know. There's no fucking way that store lets him back in. There's no way. They have banned him from that store. They will not let that man back in that store. There's no way. There's no way he get to go. So,
Scott, stranger things have happened these days.
I don't think the show is telling us right now that Trey is lying and he stole the watch, actually, because he did throw a receipt in Ryan's face. And I mean, maybe Ryan was just like, "Oh, I feel so bad," that he didn't look at the receipt and see it was for like a soda at the gas station, but probably wasn't that. But anyway, where was I?
Logan Marshall Green.
Logan Marshall Green, great guy.
Yeah.
Love his performance. The show ends on a happy note where he's like, Ryan misjudged him. Ryan was wrong about him, and everything's going to be fine now because he's going to turn over a new leaf and he's going to make his life in Newport count.
If one Atwood can do it, why can't two?
Truth.
Yeah. Slash Your Rose is also.
But I don't believe it. Is the thing is I know this is Logan Marshall Green. You got these rage problems, Logan.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Did you see that movie Upgrade? Did I see that with you? With Logan Marshall Green? It's a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Matt just saw it the other week and he's just like, Matt sees movies like 2 years later and then he's suddenly like, Scott, I got to tell you about this great movie I just saw. I was like, oh yeah, I saw that too when it came out. So I have a second rose though.
Yeah, I know.
It's my boy.
Who?
Zach Attack. Is Zach back? Zach's back.
Zach is back.
I love Zach.
I do too.
I love Zach, and I love that he's back in the show, and I love this plot line for him where he makes up this girlfriend because he's upset. And I love the Summer and the Seth of it all. It's another one of their miscommunication fights that they have so many times. But I love there's this line at the very end that he basically says,
with all your little flaws and your little quirks, somehow you keep drawing me back in.
Yeah? So what you're saying to me is then that the more neurotic and insecure I am, the more you're attracted to me. Well then, do I look fat in these pants?
No, and it's just adorable. Seth and Summer, their
They're
chemistry.
like us, Scott.
Yeah, they are. We're the Seth and Summer of this house. Just the house.
Just
though.
the house.
Yeah.
How about of Doof? We're the Seth and Summer of Doof.
Well, I mean, that's pretty mean to like, I don't know. Some people might got some stuff going on. I'm not going to assume.
We are. I'm going to assume.
No, I love Zach. I love he's back. I love that he made up, like, Zach's introductory scene in this episode is him rolling in on a Vespa.
And then he wears his helmet later on, too. Like a motorcycle helmet that's supposed to be cool, but it's not. It's a Vespa helmet, and it looks in between just a regular bike helmet and a motorcycle helmet, but on the dorky side.
And then when he sees the two girls, when he sees Marissa and Summer, he goes, "Buongiorno." And you have to listen closely. I'm going to play the clip. The two girls' reaction to that is priceless.
Hi, Zach.
Hey,
welcome back.
guys.
Hey.
Or wait, buongiorno.
Oh.
Yeah. He's a funny guy.
Love it. I love it. I love that Zach is back. Here's what I'm worried about, though.
What?
What is the deal with the comic book league?
I don't know, Scott.
What is the deal with the comic book they're supposed to be working on together?
Maybe we'll find something out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay. Are you ready?
So the brothers Grimm, those two brothers were very grim. They're very grim, those two.
They were.
And we'll find out how later. Next section, let's go.
Yep. Come on, Scott. Tell me about the style of the OC. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, Scott. Tell me about the style in the Brothers Grimm. Yeah.
Ooh, you changed it. I
Yeah.
like it. I only have one thing to talk about this week.
Only one?
What, was there more?
Go ahead.
What was wrong? Did I miss stuff? Okay, well, we'll have temporary Scott's...
I don't remember, I just remember watching it and being like, oh my gosh, Scott's going to have a lot this week.
No, the girls were just wearing a lot of beads. They were wearing a lot of necklaces, and I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do. What is that? What is that?
Jewelry.
I'm just
Who knows?
Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. There was a lot of beadage going on there. It looked like she was at Mardi Gras.
It's fine. Okay, tell me what you want to talk about.
Well, so here's what they did with my beautiful boy Seth. Seth in this episode is wearing a pink short sleeve button down, tucked in to black slacks, pleated. They're pleated black slacks.
Mm-hmm. No belt.
No belt. But here's the thing. I actually think this is a good look. I think this is a great look for a 20-something professional going to work at his office job.
With a belt.
Yes, he would have to wear a belt. Yes. This is not the way Seth dresses. Seth does not dress business casual to go to school.
He does now.
And I don't understand why they dressed him like this. It's just like, I get the pink button down. I'm fine with it. It should not be tucked in, or he should be wearing jeans. Like, it just is not, I don't, like, when I saw him dressed like this, my initial reaction was, is he going to court?
Well, the deal is, with those pants, he can't wear it untucked with that shirt because it looks too nice. So they wanted to tuck it in, but if he, you're right. If he wears those pants, he has to tuck it in, but it looks weird.
He shouldn't be dressed like this.
If he doesn't wear those pants, he can wear it untucked and then he'll look normal.
He looks like a 23-year-old man. Because that's what he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a teenager. He doesn't look like a high school kid.
Maybe he just walked in late to set that day and he didn't
and
have
this
time
is just
to
what
change.
he was wearing.
I think that's what we're going to say.
That makes sense.
They're like, oh my gosh, you missed your call. Just go right on in. You know your lines, right? And he said, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. The other comment is Ryan puts back on his Chino uniform again. We've talked about this. Anytime Ryan is going to or around Chino, he immediately puts back on his Chino uniform, which is a white tee with a gray hoodie, a gray zip-up hoodie over the top of it. And every time, doesn't matter. It's going to happen every time. That's what he does. Yep. So he's back on. There were a lot of dresses in this episode because there were a lot of parties. I remember Julie Cooper looked on point,
well, you
as
always
she
think
always
on
does. Marissa didn't offend my sensibilities this week. She too had a lot of neck.
She was more tame.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like her pants with her top. That was one thing I was like, I wonder if you'll comment on that. The proportions were all wrong.
Oh, like when she's at the
mall.
the store helping them.
Yeah.
Yes, I did notice that this time. I thought it in my head, and then I thought that sounds mean, Scott. Don't bring that up. And then in a little part of the back of my head said, Elyse is mean though. She'll probably bring it up. Just let her do it. And look what happened. It's amazing.
Yeah, I am mean.
It's an ongoing joke between Elyse and I that Elyse is mean. I don't actually think she's mean.
No, I mean,
Elyse
if anyone asks, I will say I'm the mean one. Scott's the nice one. Okay, Scott, are you ready to move on to relationship status?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some relationship statusi.
Okay. So we're going to start again with Sandy and Kirsten Cohen. Last week they were at a 5 out of 10. This week Sandy goes back to being oblivious, or at least not trying super hard to get Kirsten's attention. He tried to have the same rhythm, meeting her at work for a quick chat, and her head was filled with another man while she was there. No signs of infidelity this week, but Kirsten seems more confused.
She is confused.
We're not going to lower them down any because nothing exactly has happened, but it's probably going to start going down. They're right now at a 5 out of 10.
You know, Elyse, I'm looking at these numbers, and I feel like you're playing the relationship status game a little too conservative. I think we need to be a little more aggressive with these number changes.
You got mad at me when I was really aggressive.
No, I think.
Okay, I'll be more aggressive.
I think
next
we got to
week.
go. We got to big swings. It's more exciting
Next
that
week,
way.
I'll give you the big swings.
All right.
This week, we're just gonna keep it the same.
Yeah, I see 2 of our big relationships on here. Everything's staying the same.
Well, by the end of the episode, nothing like big had happened.
No, they worked through their shit.
Yeah, so why are you gonna dock them?
I'm not. I'm gonna bump them.
Fine.
Next up, we have Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel. Last week, this was our perpetual not in the same room together couple. We gave them a 1 out of 10. Julie finally comes clean to Caleb and reveals that she made an erotic movie in her past. It was tasteful. In some parts. Caleb doesn't blink at all and offers to pay the man and take care of it for Julie's dignity. She seems shocked that he doesn't even put up a fight. I think the reason why is we learn that he already knew about this tape. Because he has very, very detailed background check people that looked into Julie's past in great detail before he married her. So nothing about her past is a surprise to him.
Did you have that sort of people for me?
Yeah, I did.
I had them for you too.
Actually, they're still under my employ. So you might see them like following you around sometimes. Okay. It's totally cool. We're going to bump them up. We're going to, they talk to their shit and they are like, it's like mutual. It's like when two evil people like team up. It's like what is the opposite of the Justice League? Fuck, I should know this.
The Doom Patrol?
No. There's like
Suicide Squad?
I mean, no.
I'm just naming other things.
I have to do this for Seth because he would be disappointed in me if I didn't know it.
The Injustice League?
No, the Legion of Doom. No, that's not it. It can't be the Injustice League.
The Anti-Justice League?
That's such a lame... God, sometimes DC is so lame. I swear to God. Anyway. They're doing that. Tell me about Seth and Summer.
Okay, Seth and Summer last week were at a 6 out of 10. This week, they still seem to be going strong. Even with Zach coming back from Italy this week, Seth doesn't keep the secret that Zach tells him because Summer forces it out of him, and then she gets irritated that Seth didn't respect Zach's wishes. They have such an interesting relationship, Scott. So interesting. I'm keeping them at a 6 out of 10.
I don't understand. This is what I mean. Like, you got to bump them up, baby.
Why?
You got to bump them up because they're doing great. They're working through their shit. They're doing it.
But they don't seem stronger than they did before. They just seem like they worked through it and then they're like, oh, okay.
Stronger than yesterday.
They're not stronger than yesterday because they keep having the same issues over and over. If they were stronger, they wouldn't have the issues again.
Is that Britney Spears?
Yes.
What album was that?
The one where she was like this in front of the gold.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No!
Oh, I can picture it. I just don't know the name of the album.
I wish this was a video podcast because seeing what Elyse just did would have made that perfect.
I mean, it was just what Britney was doing. She was like this.
She's just like this.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
No, they don't. In fact, somebody probably does.
Yeah, just keep going.
All right,
we have a new
next
couple
up we
this
have
week.
Kirsten and Carter. What?
Yeah.
Julie picks up on the chemistry between Carter and Kirsten and seems supportive.
She does.
Yeah, I guess it's like if both me and my husband are cheating on each other, which I'm assuming Caleb is cheating on her.
Yeah.
We know she's cheating on him. I guess she just wants everyone to commit infidelity. If I'm going to do it, everybody has
Julie
to do
thinks
it.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Duh.
Kirsten spends more time with Carter as the magazine nears the launch party and the publishing date. She still tries to keep Carter and Sandy separate from each other so they don't meet, but they meet anyway. Sneaky, sneaky, Kirsten.
Mm-hmm.
We see what you're doing, and it's my thorn. But you guys get a 3 out of 10. See, now we're putting Kirsten and Carter on the same level as Julie and her husband.
Yeah.
Elyse, why don't you do the last one for me?
gold album. You see what she's doing with her hands?
I do. She's not just holding them up. She's holding onto chains.
Well, I didn't know what that was in the background. I didn't remember that. I just thought she had her hands like by her face.
Why would she be doing that?
Because she's Britney Spears.
2000. Oh,
Anyways.
This is the one with Stronger was the one with Oops, I Did It Again on it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oops, I did it again. To your heart, got lost.
Oops. Gosh, she looks so young in this picture.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Ryan by himself. Last week was at a 4 out of 10. Unofficially not by himself anymore. He has his brother, Trey, back in his life. And Marissa has been trying to find ways to insert herself back into Ryan's life as well.
You almost said Scott's life.
I did. He was happy and doing just fine on his own. Trey and Marissa are the characters who brought him down in his past, so we hope they don't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan by himself is now at a 0 out of 10.
No more Ryan by himself. Oh well for the Ryan. Yeah, I mean...
He had a good 2 weeks where he was living his life and had no worries and...
Can I make a prediction?
Yeah.
I'm going to predict that Marissa and Trey start to,
No, what?
do crimes together in
Okay.
bed
Oh.
because he's an adult
Oh.
and she's a child, and that's a crime.
Okay.
No, I think there's going to be some romantic sexual tension between those two folks because I think Marissa is attracted to the wild guy, and
Well, that's true.
Trey is the wilder version of Ryan. And I don't know if they're going to do like the Ryan is pulled into the dark side from Trey thing, or the Marissa is pulled. The track record of the show is that Ryan is perfect and never does anything wrong and has to save everyone else. So I can probably see Marissa being pulled into the dark side by Trey and Ryan having to wrestle her back. I can see like putting her in between these two brothers is gonna. I think that's the modus operandi for the show, but we'll see. I would be surprised if Ryan starts to kind of revert a little bit because of his brother. I would like to see that, but I just don't know. But I do know that next week's episode is titled The Risky Business, which is, of course, a reference to the movie Risky Business.
Okay.
You've seen Risky Business, right?
Yes, we've had this discussion.
Not on the microphone, though.
No, but we've had it.
Well, sometimes. I don't know if you know how podcasts work, but the people at home, they can't hear us when we're not talking into these.
Well, do they need to know everything?
Well, I was about to talk about Risky Business.
Well, fine. Talk about Risky
Well,
Business.
now I don't want to.
Why not?
It's a Tom Cruise movie where he has sex with a prostitute. The end.
That's not the best part about Risky Business.
What is the best part about Risky Business?
You'll see what they decide to show next week.
Are they going to literally recreate the sliding across the floor in your underwear scene?
Scott, I will tell you nothing.
Man, this show just like doesn't hold anything back.
Scott, that's all we got time for this week.
It is.
So if you're listening and you like this podcast, you can check out all the other podcast shows.
Are you drunk? What is going on?
I don't know. I was trying to do a voice and it was not a good voice.
Switch.
I don't know. If you like this podcast and you want to check out all the other shows we do, head on over to doofmedia.com. Also, you could consider donating to our Patreon, patreon.com/doofmedia. And hey, also, if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, just head on over there and drop us a rating and review. We like both those things. Monies and ratings and reviews. That's all.
Are you done?
Yeah. Is that good?